the self-supremacy, but now the host. The host of the CredeCast. The supremacy is now before you.
Folks, welcome to a very special edition of the CredeCast. This is your host, the Reverend of the Ring, the self-supremacy, the one and only Everett Creed. And tonight is quite special because we are reviewing not one, not two, but three very spectacular wrestling events. But I'm not going to be doing it alone because, as usual, I have a guest. But not like every other episode do I have a guest like this, a guest that is a four-time CJE World Heavyweight Champion. My partner in crime for tonight is none other than...
The UWE programming has been temporarily suspended. Welcome to Cameron Jackson Entertainment.
Oh boy. Welcome to CJE. That is Cameron Jackson Entertainment, your number one stop in entertainment for your backyard wrestling fix. I am, of course, your founder, your chairman, your CEO, the brother man with the master plan, Brother Cameron. Thank you for having me on this evening, Mr. Creed.
Anytime. It's always good when we round up on the shows, you know, whether it be the CredeCast, the Backyard Wrestling Fix, hopefully sometime half and half. Always know how to have a good time, always know how to tell it like it is. Now, let's start with, we got three events that we like to cover. We got the show of shows, WrestleMania. We have one of the most highly promoted events in all of Backyard Wrestling crossover WrestleCon, and what we have just witnessed, Carolina Clash. So, Cam, what do you want to start off with?
Let's start with what everybody's fresh with.
That is Carolina Clash. All right. Let me start with you. What did you think of the show overall?
Believe it or not, I never say these words the way they're about to come out. The show was good. And that's not saying that I thought it would be bad, but it was just it was very, very it exceeded my expectations. I didn't have low expectations. I just wasn't expecting it to be a lot better than it was just very, very damn good. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at this like I was in school and, you know, I was in Five Towns and I was on the phone with you after Creed Knows Wrestling on WFTU. And, you know, we were just like, oh, we got to do CredeCast tonight. But, you know, obviously Clash was Carolina Clash. And I'm like, so we'll do it right after. I don't want to, you know, be disrespectful to those guys. And I'm glad we did it like that because I'm glad we have a show to review now instead of preview. And I must say, 3 matches on the card, and the 3 stood out very well in their own manner. The only reason I'm going to review the first match last is because that one really took me by surprise. So we're going to start with Joseph Everhart and Mephisto. What are your thoughts with that match?
Shocking that Mephisto won. I really, you know, I think anybody would have bet their house that Joseph Everhart was going to win. And the fact that Mephisto won took me by surprise. I mean, he won in a dirty way for those who didn't see. But the fact that he won, period, just really took me by surprise. But you know, even up to that point, it was very good. The action in the ring was on point, and for a match with little to no build, it stood out in its own way. Absolutely.
I mean, the fact that the build wasn't too large, but the fact is Mephisto is one of those characters that reminds me of a guy that played stickball in Mexico City when he was 12, knows how to use a bat, and was able to pull it off. I did not expect Mephisto to beat Joseph Everhart. That was...
I tell you what, you know, first off, we're going to start calling him by his real name, you know.
Gustavo Mephisto. Where did you come? All
right, I'm on a roll with these. I've come up with Bart, Lou,
yep,
Tim, Gustavo. I haven't got a first name for Daisy yet, but...
little trivia question for anybody that is watching this right now in the CredeCast. The names that he has just mentioned: Marv, Lou, Lucius, Tim, and any of the others. Gustavo. If you can name the actual wrestler, well done for you. You get brownie points and possibly a chance to be on the CredeCast, but we'll see. But next time. But I must say that was a very impressive match. But Gustavo Mephisto, wow, you know, and I like it. You know, I like it. All right, main event: Tyler Storm, Seth Maverick. What do you think?
Very. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. I believe it or not, I was pulling for Seth Maverick. I wasn't expecting him to win with a running elbow drop, but it, you know,
Oh, man, for anyone that hasn't seen the old UW channel, there was this guy that we had in the UW. He goes by the name of Terrence Phillips, and this guy is
like I said, when you went with an elbow drop, Seth, you just gave me my first shot of the night. Thank you, Seth Maverick.
oh man, and you just quit drinking 2 hours ago. I mean,
I quit smoking 2 hours ago too.
yeah, and that's going to be broken tonight too. But yeah, I saw that elbow, and I'm thinking, oh no, like, and he won. I'm like, he won off of that. I'm like, oh boy. But I was shocked that Seth Maverick was victorious. I thought Tyler Storm had that one in the bag.
Well, here's the reason why. You know, William, I have a very different mind when it comes down to wrestling in general. You know this. I like to call it a one-of-a-kind mind. Not saying it's better than anybody else's, but I think about things in a long-term way. I mean, I was there in person when I seen Tyler Storm defeat Dirty Chico, Big Time Mike, and myself all in the same weekend.
Yeah.
And defeat you a few months prior at Best in the Yard. And, you know, I figured that he's not just going to, judging by the mentality of the way that, I don't want to sound offensive, the way that other people think, I kind of knew, not because anybody told me or nothing, but I kind of knew Seth was going to be victorious.
And lastly, we got
that's not a bad thing. I'm glad he was. The match came out great.
It did. It came out very good. I was very surprised to see Seth kick out of the Thunderstomp. I was amazed to see a lot of things in that match. You got, I mean, I put it in the channel in the comment section. Remember when this guy went by the name of the Black Seth? You remember that time?
Yeah, I do. Give me a second, because every time I get on the air, people feel the need to call me. Be right there. You know, Malibu REF just can't let me sit down for 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, that's REF. I guess he complained about the plane going flat. Now, I was watching that main event match, and I got to be thinking, wow, this is incredible seeing Tyler Storm and Seth Maverick go at it. I believe it's one of the first times I've seen Seth Maverick duke it out on live. It was awesome. Tyler's one hell of a competitor as well. Had a great match with him at Best in the Yard. But now I got to discuss of course, the one fan that was in that match that got over, and it wasn't even his match. But that brings me to the first match of the night, which may actually, to my eyes, may have been match of the night. That was Attic versus Pork Chop.
Yeah, you know what? This is where I have to say, and you never seen me say these words before, especially not recently. Hats off to both Ecstatic and Pork Chop. They, in my eyes, no disrespect to anybody else, everybody did good. They stole the show. And the reason, just the match itself, because let's be real, and everybody just put it on the table. When you hear Ecstatic versus Pork Chop, you were not thinking about what you saw. And it was 10 times better than expectations, blew everybody out of the water, left my jaw dropped in a few different places. And hats off to both of them. You know, they in much respect, Ecstatic knows how to play the role of a veteran in the ring very well. And you wouldn't expect that. Like, you know, I could tell you, if you would have told me this last week, I would have been like, nah, no way. And I seen it tonight. I actually called him right afterwards, and I told him it was a great job.
Yeah, like there was, I know there was a Twitter war. I'm not going to mention the tweets that was going on, but it made me think like, oh, why are you saying that kind of stuff, Ecstatic? But then, you know what? I got to say he made up for it, you know, tonight, just putting on that kind of a performance against Pork Chop. And I have not seen much of Pork Chop, but I'll tell you what, based on what I saw here tonight, I would love
to steal a line from REF. I want him here.
Yeah. Yes. I want him here. You know, that's exactly.
This one's Pork Chop and Ecstatic. Thank you, fellas, for that.
Absolutely. You know, I would love to see Pork Chop in the UWE alongside Seth Maverick. I'd love to see both of those guys. I would love to see anyone that's really competed on that show in the underground. Either way, I think it would be incredible. And Pork Chop is one of those guys that would fit here really well. He just seems like the kind of guy that would fit in a UW locker room. I was amazed by the leap of faith he took on Ecstatic. You know, I thought Ecstatic would be the one that have the airtime, but when I saw Pork Chop take flight, I'm like, uh-oh.
Yo, when this man did a moonsault and head stood for about 2 seconds and then still hit the moonsault, I got up from, I swear I got up from where I'm sitting right now, looked at the screen, and I clapped, because that is pure drive, talent, and that I don't care what you say. Everybody, he has an ability. Porkchop has the ability of taking a move that the wrestling world would say is botched and making it look like it happened on purpose. And I tell you what, you can't get taught that. It's just something you're born with. And Porkchop, I don't know if anybody ever tells this to you, but I'm saying it to you, and I don't care if it's a long shot or not, because if people like me, to be quite honest, I like them. If they don't like me, it's hard to argue with my track record. So, Porkchop, I hate. You're a natural, kid. Good stuff.
Very well, and Ecstatic too played veteran. That might have been one of his best performances.
That was. I tell you what, as far as being glued to the screen about a story, that is the best I've seen him do. And I was glued to the screen for the story that he was telling. It was a great job.
Amazing job. And it was really like, I know there was a lot of rumors that Ecstatic may have been at WrestleCon, and if that was the case, I would have liked to see him outside of his element. If he comes to the underground anytime, I'd love to see him outside of his element. That's the one guy I wanted to see outside of his element. And tonight, for the first time, I saw him outside of his element, and he succeeded very, very well. And I was amazed by the performance he put on, and as well as Porkchop. Hats off, obviously, to both those guys. But now, before we discuss the events for WrestleCon and WrestleMania.
Well, let me before you see this.
Yes. Is that who I think it is? Let me put the camera on you. Is that who I think it is?
Yeah. Hello.
Hey,
yo. Jason Walker, I'm on a CredeCast, and you call my phone.
Better be plugging the bad guy, man.
Wow. We're on it, Jason.
You know what, Jason Walker? I'll see you soon. All right. So,
well, now since he's called, let me get to the heavy hitting stuff here on the CredeCast. What do you got planned for Jason Walker come WrestleCon?
Oh, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, anybody will come on here and cut some ridiculous promo. To be quite honest, I only do that when the programming's on. And the reason why is because I'm one half of Black and White, and I'm a 4-time world champion. You want a promo from me, tune into Lockdown or tune into UW programming to see it. So, just like I said, short and sweet, I'm going to fuck him up.
And there you go. That's the way to say it. Now,
oh, God.
What is going on?
Hello?
Hey, Cam.
Clunk, what do you want?
I lost my mask.
It was Clunk, I told you I was on the CredeCast, man. Don't bag my style right now.
Hey, Cam.
What?
I lost my mask like Everett lost his neck. How about it?
Don't.
All right. Is that how it's going to be now in the CJE? Watch the people on your side of the roster. Did I left my iPad? Anyway, moving on. And this is getting a little bit more intense than I would have thought. If any of you guys have any questions about the 3 events that we are discussing tonight, whether it be Carolina Clash, whether it be WrestleCon or WrestleMania, definitely hit us up in the box. We're going to answer them. Now, Cam, let's actually discuss which one do you want to discuss next? Do you want to discuss what's upcoming for WrestleMania this Sunday, or we want to discuss WrestleCon?
You know what? I don't mind. Flip a coin.
All right, let's flip a coin here. All right, boys, we're gonna see a live one. If I can find a coin. Wow. You know what? I'm too lazy. Let's just talk about this Sunday real quick because this is, obviously this was kind of the reason why we wanted to do the CredeCast. This Sunday, I mean, obviously the reason why a lot of us get into this stuff is because when we were kids, flipped the channel onto USA or Spike TV, watched the Monday Night Raw, and never turned back. And I have a lot of opinions about this Sunday, certain people being featured, certain people not being featured. I was just found some information. The reason why a certain individual that I want to see compete at WrestleMania cannot is because of a back injury, that being Bray Wyatt. But let's discuss the card nonetheless. If you haven't listened, I did discuss this on the Creed Knows Wrestling on WFTU. I know Cam has been putting in his opinions as well. So now we're going to see the two-man duo pull it out for WrestleMania. Cam, what are your thoughts about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal for this year?
4 words. That's got to be Kane.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, I agree. As far as who's been announced, I got to say Kane. That's who I want to see pull out in this match as well. The next match I'll discuss is the 5-on-5, the Team Total Divas or Team Bad and Blonde.
I would have a lot more to say about this match, but I said it earlier on your show. Well, I messaged in earlier to your show that I think it's time they give the people that they've been burying for a long time a moment, and I think Team Bad and whatever the fuck they call it now, Team Bad should win it.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Because Team Total Divas, Total Divas is going to be on for the next 5+ years.
Yeah.
For sake.
The way I see it is, other than Paige, I'm not really rooting for that team anyways. Like, Eva Marie just kind of got a laugh out of me. And you know what? I want to see more out of Naomi and Tamina. I could care less about Summer Rae, I'm not going to lie. But Emma has potential as a good heel, and she's good at making you hate her. And Lana is the X factor in the whole equation because she's never wrestled before. So I want to see what she has to offer. And that bicycle roundhouse kick is vicious. Like, I really like that.
It is nasty. I was like, what? When I saw that, I was, man, made me want to get a divorce.
I kind of got pissed because I wish I thought of it first, like.
Maybe want to get a divorce, then the bitch broke up with me. Oh, well, anyway.
Yeah, there you go. So, now.
It was a mutual agreement. Go ahead, continue.
Now, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Jared Bowden. He just asked a very good question. What about Mark Henry, assuming for the Battle Royal? It's in Texas, and this is supposedly his last WrestleMania. That brings up a good point, actually.
Here's the thing. I love Mark Henry. Everybody that knows me knows this. But if this is his last WrestleMania, here's the thing. I don't think he wants to be remembered by his last WrestleMania moment. I think he wants to be remembered by his legacy, his last impact. Like I said, what person that wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal shouldn't be on his way out soon. No disrespect to Mark Henry. I love Mark Henry, but you win the Andre the Giant thing, I think he'd stick around for at least a year.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, there you go. And if this close that door, Lloyd, too, thank you, buddy. And if I can't even talk because people keep coming in and out.
Oh yeah, I feel you.
But anyway, if this is his last WrestleMania, it would be cool to see a good showing from him in there. And I can understand if he does win it from the sentimental reason, but do I necessarily get upset if he doesn't? No. If he doesn't win it, I'm not going to be upset. I'd rather see him have a last feud than a last WrestleMania moment.
I agree. And who could forget when he did that fake retirement with John Cena? Had me in tears. I remember that. Actually, Angelique was actually with me on that run. I broke, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like Mark Henry, like with the daughter, and then I'm just like, he really had me going, and then all of a sudden, he just pulls out the world's strongest slam. I'm like, wow, like that might have been one of his finest moments. Incredible. Very good question from Cody Rex. When is WrestleCon? I want to say it's going to be not this weekend, but next weekend.
Don't put a specific date on it because
I'm not putting a specific date. I would probably assume next weekend. I think that's the best possible. That's the most possible date right now is sometime next weekend. Definitely helping it out.
I will say that if this camera cuts out for a little bit, I mean, I'll still be able. If the camera cuts out, it's because of the internet and everybody using it. Just so you know, I'll still be on, but the camera might chip out. It does it a lot.
Yep.
Right now, for some reason, it sounds like gospel sensation Yolanda Adams is downstairs making a fucking piece of pie in my kitchen. I don't know.
There you go. Next question is from none other than Joey Lake. Do you think Seth and Porkchop should have a no-holds-barred street fight for the title? Absolutely not, because I feel like that stipulation right now is too popular with a match that we're going to review soon, and that's Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar.
Now, here's the thing about no holds barred. The thing about no holds barred is that there's no difference from that match and any other match. The only difference in that match is literally no rules and the name of it.
The name of it, yeah.
It's whether I honestly think that if you're gonna have a no holds barred match, just don't call it no holds barred. Call it anything goes. Don't call it a street fight, for Christ's sake. But call it anything goes. Call it something else. Don't call it no holds barred, because then if you say the words no holds barred, they're gonna say you're copying this person or you're copying what's going on TV. If you say unsanctioned, then you have a little bit of a chance. Say something else, just say anything goes. Say something. Just don't say no holds barred, because then it's like,
I feel you. The good question here from Big Time Mike. What did you think of Seth and Tyler's promo kicking off the show?
Promo could have been better. But like I said, that's a small part of a big deal. The show ended up being great anyway. As far as analyzing a promo, I'm what people call a good promo cutter. I'm trying to use the right words to be politically correct here. I'm not drunk yet, trust me. The thing is, when you cut a promo to pretty much hype the main event and welcome in the show, usually it leads to physical action. Now, you have to kind of have a very big deal of intensity. The only problem with the promo is that, while Seth is pushing Tyler back, you see Seth smiling and you see Tyler smiling. Two guys smiling at each other don't look like they want to beat the hell out of each other,
Yeah, I feel you.
So but that's just a small thing, I can't really gripe on it too much. Could have been better, could have been worse. That's all I could say.
Yep. Another question. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get to that question in a minute, because actually, no, I did discuss all the pre-show matches, right? Andre Battle Royal and the Divas, right? Okay. Question from Big Time Mike. Will Stone Cold Steve Austin open the show?
I have a feeling. Here's the thing. There's 3 people I could see opening the show.
All right. Who's your 3?
Stone Cold.
All right.
Vince McMahon.
Okay.
And the reason being isn't for anything Shane related. It's the fact that he's just broken his own record.
Yeah.
And the third person, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Those are the only 3 I could see opening it. Now, I do see a lot of other names being involved in that show, but I'm not going to say all that, because then I don't want everybody to start thinking, and then when it happens, you're like, oh, well, now I knew it was going to happen. You know what I mean? I don't want to take the surprise factor away, because I don't know for real, but if I'm right, I don't want people to be like, well, damn, there's no surprise.
I would love for Shawn Michaels, or I would love for Steve Austin to do it. One of those guys. I think it would be really cool. But now let's discuss let's go with the United States title, because I know there's a lot of questions about match predictions, and I will get to every single one. Well, every one of these matches we'll get to. But let's start with the U.S. strap. We got Kalisto and Ryback. Cam, what do you think?
I think Ryback should win, but you'll never know. But Here's the thing.
It's just how many times have they done the David Goliath where David is Goliath?
I like Kalisto. I really do. I like Ryback more. But I like Kalisto, and he's a great athlete. It's just, it's very predictable if the small guy wins at WrestleMania, especially.
Mm-hmm.
They tell that story almost every year.
Oh yeah, I mean, how many times have they told the story? Okay, we're gonna have we're gonna have this guy win. We're gonna have Rey Mysterio beat.
I mean, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, Daniel Bryan.
Exactly.
One guy overcomes the odds. And no disrespect, I love all those guys. Love watching them all. It's the same story.
Absolutely. Tag team match, New Day League of Nations.
I want the New Day so bad.
Me too.
Reason being is that the only interest I have in the League of Nations is in is it King Barrett or Wade Barrett?
Yeah, it's still King Barrett. It's still
the only two people that really catch my eye in the league now are the ones that they fail to use the correct way, which are Rusev and Barrett.
I agree.
This is where I feel I'm mad about the match in general. It should be for the titles because the Freebirds are going to the Hall of Fame. They're synonymous with doing tag team matches in 6-man fashion.
Absolutely. This is a good question. Now, like I said, on Creed Knows Wrestling, if there's anybody that I am looking forward to in this match, if there's anyone that I feel is going to pull out a performance more than anyone else, not only on his team, but on the opponent's team, it's Rusev, because this guy is fighting with a chip on his shoulder. He was the third to last match last year at WrestleMania against John Cena. And now he's in a 7-man equation, and I feel like he's going to have to really prove himself again. And I feel like he's going to do it if he's given the chance.
Oh, the camera went out. All right. Well, it's all right. It'll be back on in a couple seconds. They stuck him in a team. And here's the thing. See, Rusev is one of those, it's like we all know what he can do, yet he still remains underrated. I just don't get it. And I feel like they had a great thing going with him, and when they chose to cut it, it really put him in the back seat.
Yep, I do agree with that. Let's see now. Next question that's non-match related, because we're going to get to every match. We promise you guys. We're not ignoring any match predictions. We're going to get to every one. 2 questions. One was from Ecstatic, and the other was from VTW Wrestling. VTW's was first. I'll go to him. What match at WrestleMania do you think will, quote unquote, steal the show? Because in my eyes, I believe that it will be none other than AJ Styles and Chris Jericho. Cam, what do you think on the show?
Here's the thing. AJ Styles and Chris Jericho steals the show if Taker and Shane don't go on last. I mean, if Taker and Shane do go on last. If Taker and Shane don't go on last, Taker and Shane steals the show.
Yes, I agree. Because that, to me, is the match that really is highly promoted. That is the main event in my eyes, because I feel like it deserves that quality. It deserves that entitlement. The only reason why I wouldn't say that goes to Roman and Triple H is the inevitable outcome. But
that's the problem with that match. Not just to go on a little side rant here. I know everybody in this chat probably has some personal grudge with Roman Reigns for some reason, which really they shouldn't. They should have a personal grudge with WWE. But the thing is, Roman, the character has been built the right way, I feel.
I agree.
And it's been utilized the right way. And he has had his amount of struggle to go through for the last almost 2 years. But the wrestling, as Everett said earlier on this radio show, for those who didn't listen, these wrestling fans are smarter than they would have been in any other era besides today. You know, they know the inevitable conclusion, and that is why they're rejecting it.
That's why they rejected The Rock in 2001 and 2002, because they saw that the corporate was looking at this guy as, oh, we're going to make this guy our, he's going to be our guy. Same with Cena. Same now with Reigns. Remember Hogan in WCW?
Here's the thing. The thing is, people, it's like work. You fucking hate the guy that your boss loves the most. It's this natural reaction. And this is why I say the fans don't have a right to feel that way. And the biggest reason is going to the work analogy. They don't work for the WWE. You know,
Yeah.
if there were superstars in the back that felt that way, I can understand.
Mm.
But, you know, the people that, you know, they pay money. I understand that to see a show. I don't care what you say. Those same people that boo Roman Reigns and say he shouldn't be champ are the same reason why he's over right now. Because even though they're booing Roman Reigns, they're still reacting to Roman Reigns.
Those,
And that's the key. And, you know, I could understand if he was getting no reaction at all, which at the end of Raw happened, but you've seen the guy fucking 3 times, you know. So, like I said, if I walk into your house once, you're like, hey, Cam. If I come back in the second time, you're like, oh, it's Cam, you know.
yeah,
So that's just how it is. But
that's,
as far as Roman Reigns goes, I like the character, and I think the title match would be more interesting if there were a third party. But obviously, way too late for that. Um,
Hmm.
But now you got to. If I were writing it, I would have Triple H win it because that's what you don't see coming now, unfortunately.
the struggle for Roman Reigns, and the crowd is going to get behind Roman if there's a struggle behind them. They cheered him for against Sheamus because there's a struggle behind Roman Reigns. Now with the next match, because I want to review one more match before we go to Ecstatic's question. Let's review the ladies. Let's review the triple threat match for the Divas Championship. You got in one corner the last kicker, Becky Lynch. In the other corner, you have the boss, Sasha Banks. And in the third corner, you have the Divas Champion, Charlotte, accompanied by Nature Boy Ric Flair. What do you got?
Oh boy! All right. You know, without giving too much of future events and what people will see from myself and other characters on screen in the future. Um, Camera back on. All right. All I have to say is my heart and soul lies with whoever Ric Flair is aligned with.
Yeah.
But as far as predicting this match, I'm gonna say Sasha Banks takes it. But like I said, the reason why this match is gonna be higher up on the card is Ric Flair. I mean, there's he wrote the book on being what people reject, a sports entertainer. He wrote the book on being a pro wrestler, and for Christ's sakes, I mean, there's a piece of Ric Flair, even if you don't realize it, there's a piece of Ric Flair in every single wrestler on that roster today. And I could watch everybody's show and see something Ric Flair related if you mean to do it or not.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
I know Sasha was playing off of the idea of how she may have a special entrance. I really would like to see that. I've heard that the girls might be going on for at least 20 minutes, maybe even hitting the half-hour mark. I would love to see that, honestly, especially with these three, because they could pull it out. They have the support. People wanted the Divas Revolution. They got it. And if they start complaining about it, I'm sorry, but that's, you know what? You asked for it. Be happy you got it. Don't complain. I'm happy to see it. And I'm rooting for all three of them.
The only reason why I don't want Becky Lynch to win is because they push the foreign people too much.
They do. They really do like to push the foreigners.
And I understand why. It's because it creates a business revenue in their home countries, which is, you know, it's all about the money. But at the same time, you know, it's not racist. I have nothing against those foreign people, but I think some of them need to take some time and get some slow build rather than just all the heat at once. I mean, look at the track list: Sheamus, the Great Khali, Alberto Del Rio, Rusev when he first started, King Barrett when he first started. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they do it with every foreign guy that comes in. The only one that they finally took a cap off was Neville, and even that's hard to say because in NXT they were pushing him like he was God. So it's just. I think that, don't get me wrong, it's just, to me, it's very foreseeable that they love to put the foreign people over, which is no problem with that because it creates money. But at the same time, you still got an audience and your company's based in the U.S. I think that, you know, use some of these talents that you have and keep the foreign ones around. Don't get me wrong. They're amazing talents, but don't just put $100 and a whole creative staff behind them right away. Let them build themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of like, I love Becky Lynch, you know, very athletic, very beautiful, very a lot of potential within her, but I definitely am rooting for all three of them. And I'm rooting for Charlotte because I see, once again, great athleticism, definitely building herself as her own. She's not a Ric Flair 2.0. She is Charlotte, but the best part about it is because you could see the difference between Charlotte and Flair because Flair is there. And I think Flair being there is really what puts this match on a higher perspective. And it's not because, oh, the girls can't do it on their own. They most certainly can. It's just that it's Ric Flair. You know, that's all you can say. And Sasha Banks has the it factor. Who do I have winning this match? I got Sasha Banks, but I definitely want to see a great performance out of all three of them. Now, next question was ecstatic. I'm going to move a little back. Okay, he says ruthless aggression, attitude, PG or modern era. Which is the best?
I say, well, here's the thing. It was the attitude transitioning into the ruthless aggression era that made Vince McMahon a billionaire from a business standpoint. And that's where TV ratings were at an all-time high, especially in the middle towards the end of the Attitude Era. So I'm going to say Attitude Era all the way. Second, right neck and neck with that, a little bit underneath that is Ruthless Aggression. But the reason why is because it was just so, it felt so real at that time, you know.
Oh, absolutely. You had,
and everybody, it was like everybody had some sort of larger than life aura around them. Like I remember, like you know, this is how you know the Attitude Era paid off when you can take a guy that is shorter than me, Everett, most of the BYW roster, and pretty much stands maybe a centimeter above Jason Walker. No, 3 centimeters above Jason Walker. And you get him another Japanese tag team partner, and you make Kai and Tai, and they get over in a heartbeat. Only in the Attitude Era can that happen. Well, a little further, I'll skip over that one. But
I gotta agree with because there's just certain characters, like it's so realistic, but at the same time, the larger than life. You know, the guys like the reason why I got into the business was guys like Undertaker, guys like Kane, guys like Goldust. I feel like the Wyatts would have fit in there, like they were just
and the on-screen personalities reminded you of somebody you knew, but in an aspect where like, whoa, you know, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He reminded me of the family members that would just say what they want when they want, and do what they want when they want, and ready to fucking kick ass any time of day. I got an Uncle Charlie who's an alcoholic, so drink fucking 10 beers and just start whipping ass. That's his MO. The Rock is like everybody in my family. Holy crap! I mean, amazing. And then you just can't top it. And it has nothing to do with the amount of blood, gut, and gore. It's just in that time they were fighting for a purpose. They were fighting to earn their spot, you know, on and off screen. And I think that's what made it real. I think it was just the fact that everybody needed that they had to have an it factor, and if they didn't have the it factor, they had to fake it pretty nice, and they did a damn good job of it. All of them did.
Absolutely. Everybody stood out, and the ones that didn't stand out, the ones that were kind of trying to make it through the moves, guess what? They didn't get used. They didn't get utilized, and they weren't important. That's what makes it to be a superstar. Marie Excellence asks, I have to wonder, could the Wyatt family still play a factor at WrestleMania, like interfering in Ambrose versus Lesnar? Yes and no.
Oh boy, I love this one. This is. Here's the thing. I feel like they will be at WrestleMania.
I don't think they'll be in Brock and Ambrose, though.
No, I don't think they'll be wrestling or interfering in any match per se. I feel like if they're doing something, there's a huge Hollywood movie star that's promoted for WrestleMania. And he kind of, grew up in the WWE. So you're going to hear, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, he'll go out there, cut his 5 minutes of fun, and then
that's it.
And then I think that's just perfect. If they miss that opportunity, I'm not going to lie, I will be upset. And I'm never upset at WrestleMania, but I think I'll be upset if they miss that opportunity.
Yeah, that's the one that they could really utilize. And the Wyatts are going to WrestleMania, so they better not be just in a battle royal. I really want to see that. Now, next up, Roman Reigns, Undertaker, anything but a Ric Flair screw job. Do you think Flair will be ejected from ringside?
That's a good one too. That may happen. You never know.
Yeah.
Especially at WrestleMania. Well, if he's ejected, you know Charlotte's dropping it.
Yeah. Now, oh yeah, I agree with that. Avery Hoke says Monday Night Wars with WCW was great for wrestling. He's actually 110% right because WCW is what made the World Wrestling Federation raise the bar, and there wouldn't have been an Attitude Era if it wasn't for guys like Eric Bischoff that were taking it straight to the WWE at the time being the WWF. And
Amazing. It was just amazing, and I can go back and I can watch every single one of those Nitros. I couldn't watch Thunder. Thunder was crap, but I can watch every single one of those. I can watch every single one of those Nitros and have a cool time. The only Thunder I like is when they debuted the Wolfpack theme song. That is the only one.
Yeah. Now let's continue with the matches. We have a 7-man ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. We have Kevin Owens, the champion. We have Sin Cara, Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Stardust, and Sami Zayn. I believe that are the 7 individuals. I think I got them all. Cam, what do you got?
What the fuck is Sin Cara doing in there?
I think there was someone that had to replace Neville, but they couldn't get Tyler Breeze.
You couldn't get Tyler Breeze. You couldn't get the Brooklyn Brawler. You couldn't do what you always do when you need somebody in a ladder match and get Rob Van Dam. You know, what's the problem? Why are you using Sin Cara? He is nothing. You know what's bad? When that character has been around for the last how many years now? What, 4, 5, 6?
He's got to be, what, 2010? He's been around for a while, 2011.
5, 6 years. And the guy that came in after him in his own tag team is more over than him. You know you fucked up that time. And how many Sin Caras have there been, first off? What?
There's been two Sin Caras.
All right, here's the thing. Sin Cara does not belong in there with WWE superstars. I'm sorry.
I don't see personality behind it. Like, you know, I just, and it's just a lot with the luchadors. I just don't know what it is. I need to see more personality out of them. I need, like, Rey Mysterio had personality. You know, I mean, even Winnipeg Warrior had you know, personality, but like
the thing about Sin Cara is that
it's a nightmare.
It's a Mexican wrestling, you know, legend, faceless or beautiful, great, but it's not a WWE wrestling legend. Get it out of here.
Now, I am kind of rooting for 2 individuals in this match. Actually, no, I'm rooting for 2. Stardust, because and the reason why I love Stardust, he stands out. He's the one standout guy in that match because he's the one that is out of his damn mind. He's the one bizarre character that I really like to see in there. And the other who I'm really pulling for is none other than the A-lister, the most must-see WWE superstar of modern time, The Miz.
Yo, the reason why I want The Miz to win is because as of right now, people care about the Intercontinental Champion. They don't give a fuck about the Intercontinental title. If The Miz wins, he'll put eyes on himself and on the championship. And I think it'll add more prestige itself. Not to say Kevin Owens is a bad champion, because that's far from the truth. It's just the fact that people like Kevin Owens. They're going to like Kevin Owens. They're going to cheer Kevin Owens regardless, whether he has the Intercontinental strap on or not. I think it's time that WWE go with The Miz once more. But like I said, if Kevin Owens retains, I will not be mad. That's actually my prediction.
Yeah, my prediction is KO. Let's move on right ahead. Let's do Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose. No holds barred street fight. I'm going to go first on this one because it's going to be pretty quick. Brock is an animal. Brock is a beast. And if he gets his hands on the toys, Dean Ambrose is screwed. But I think Ambrose has got this one. I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose on this.
All right. Here's what I'm saying. Dean Ambrose. I remember for a long time I talked a lot of smack about Dean Ambrose. At this modern Raw, it finally hit me to where I was wrong. He has finally set himself aside from the loose cannon, Brian Pillman, which he's almost identical to as far as looks. Uh, he set himself aside from the outlaw, the rebel, Steve Austin, and he set himself aside from the mentally deranged Mick Foley. Uh, Now I truly see Dean Ambrose, and to be quite honest, if he wins, I will not be upset at all. Um, but here's the thing: he's Dean Ambrose, and he gets his hand on them weapons, and he starts shaking it to Brock. You'll never know what you can see. Uh, Dean has a very good chance, especially with the stipulation. But let's remember, as far as kayfabe and storylines go, Brock Lesnar is a fucking brick shithouse.
That's a good way to put it.
I tell you, you hit Brock Lesnar with that kendo stick, or no, he ain't even using it. You're damn right. He's gonna need the fucking chainsaw, because the only way I could see Brock staying down is if you cut him in half. But for some reason, I'm gonna say Dean's gonna pull it out.
Yeah, that's the one that has me stumped, is Ambrose Lesnar. Next up, Undertaker, Shane McMahon, Hell in a Cell.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I remember sitting at work, and I have Verizon Files, and Verizon Files is an app where you can watch live TV on your phone. And the beginning of that Raw, Shane's music hit, and oh my God, I almost got fired. That's how happy I was. And then there's, it's his return. Vince announced WrestleMania with The Undertaker. I was like, oh no. And it's so hard to even go behind the fourth wall on this. It was like, because I'm such a big fan of Shane O'Mac. I'm such a big fan of The Undertaker. I'm literally split.
Yeah.
And everything on the line. This is why it needs to go on last. First off, everything on the line. You have pretty much the keys to the flagship program of the WWE. And then you have the most historic legacy and career in WWE, in the most fitting original concept of the WWE. Oh boy,
something's got to give, and it's the end of an era, one way or another. But then again, it could also be the beginning of an era. It's going to be the match that transcends the industry.
I see it two ways. And there's no straight prediction I can give you. I can only give you two outcomes. One, Taker wins. Two, Shane wins with help. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into how I think that help's going to come, if he does. But that's the only two ways I see it going.
The one person I'm actually going to say I think the winner of this match will be The Undertaker. I feel like a lot of people are hot on Shane McMahon right now, but how can you forget 22 years of just dominance and decadence at WrestleMania? I think The Undertaker in his playground, he's going to, WrestleMania is his yard. Hell in a Cell is his house, or however he said it.
But look at it this way. His last WrestleMania, what better fitting last WrestleMania than the biggest selling WrestleMania of all time in your home state? That's why it's tough.
That too. That as well, especially if it goes on last. I will say this. If Taker remains on last, if Taker goes on last, Shane's winning.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And last but not least, Roman Reigns, Triple H for WrestleMania. Yeah, this is long. I'll just say it. Roman, moving on.
I believe it or not. Here's the thing. I know that everybody they've done the live shows. They've done Royal Rumble, Roadblock. Come on, no, fuck out of here. They've done all that stuff. Really?
Whoa.
Never mind. Roman.
All right. All right. So Roman's going over. Now, guys, coming up in about, I would say next weekend. I think that's a good estimated time. The show is pretty much done edited. We just need commentary, but WrestleCon is approaching. And WrestleCon is going to be an amazing spectacle. Just got a message here. Okay. Now, going to see who's still up for this one. All right. We got 10 people watching, Cam. Do we review WrestleCon?
Sure, why not? I mean, I'm just having a good time. I'm not, by no means.
It's we got to still, and then not to mention, we're probably going to get one more in there before wrap it up, or a half and half or something like that before we rock and roll with the show itself.
It's definitely going to be half and half a week from tomorrow night. No,
tomorrow night, yeah. Aren't you having Zach Daniels and TJ Sakara?
Yes, tomorrow night, Zach Daniels and TJ Sakara are profound, world-renowned guests on the award-winning show Half and Half.
Sounds very good. All right, let's discuss the matches. First one up here. Actually, no, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Let's talk about this one right here. Triple threat. Now, this is an outdated match card because Drew Hood is not the VTW World Heavyweight Champion, but this is going to be an elimination tables match. Cam, what are your thoughts on this one?
War.
Yeah.
Tables for 3. I'm going to go with the underground gunslinger, Dirty D. Chico.
That's who I'm going to go with as well. There's just nobody that can do the damage quite like Dirty the Chico, the gunslinger himself. And the thing is that looks like Thomas Gray started in a joking matter. So did Drew Hood. The Chico was just ready to go from the get-go, and I feel like he's got the message that he's looking to send. And his promos were definitely the most impactful in my eyes out of the 3. And
all right, yeah, I can contest to it now. I'm starting to feel it.
Oh boy! All right. Next,
when Cam gets drunk, this shit takes off.
Oh boy! All right, next match on the card. This is going to be an interesting one right here. We have none other than Nick Myers versus the Black Bullet. We had tables for 3. This is the Young Rebel and the Old Law.
I can tell you what, the Black Bullet is easily one of the most overlooked superstars in backyard wrestling, as far as his talents go. And he's, believe it or not, the way he started, in the World Heavyweight Championship picture. I mean, I tell you what, Bullet's not out of gas yet, and the reason being is he's on fire like never before. I'm going to go with the Black Bullet. Now, you can't count Nick whatever the fuck this guy's name is. You can't count Nick Myers out. And the reason is he's got Big Dick in his corner.
I was just going to say, I know there's a lot of rumors, and I could say that I can clarify because I've spoken with the Black Bullet earlier this week as well. Not only will Big Dick Powers be ringside, but also Black Bullet's partner, Anonymous, will be in the Black Bullet's corner as well. So this is going to be very interesting to see how we're going to see 2 Smash Mouth competitors, in my eyes, are going to have their partners, their bodyguards, however you like to call it, by their side.
Indeed.
I got to go. Now, the thing is that Nick Myers has some tricks up his sleeve, but the Black Bullet is a vicious competitor. This one's got me stumped. I really am not sure.
Is a veteran. I'm going with Double B.
You're going to go with the Black Bullet. I'm going to see, this is where it's tricky. The only reason why I think Nick Myers has a shot is because of Big Dick Powers. I think there's just something about that duo that is going to be quite interesting to witness. All right, next match on the card.
Ooh, this is a tough one. This is the Sinner meeting the Third Eye Theorist. This, fun fact for those who don't know, was supposed to go down at Best in the Yard 1. What happened there? TJ Sakara didn't show up, and Zach and Daisy stole the fucking show. So here's the thing. Zach Daniels is no stranger to crossing over. TJ Sakara, this is his first trip outside. He may get overwhelmed. I don't know. This is the one where I cannot decide. If I have to, I'm going to say TJ Sakar is the only one with some backup in the arena because Rick Rios will be in attendance. I'm going to go with, I got to put the money on. Ooh, this is tough.
Yeah, this is a tricky one.
What? This is the one where I say we win. You know, but to be quite honest, it's really split. This is this is a one for the ages. This is like fucking what is it? I forgot the motherfucker's name. Was it Tyson Holyfield?
Oh, one or the other.
This is like George Foreman and whoever the fuck else is a great boxer.
Oh yeah, I know.
This is Frazier Ali. There you go.
Frazier Ali. That's exactly.
The thing is, it's tough. Do you go with the third eye theorist? Do you go with the center? The center he's got a following. TJ Sakar is really starting to dip into his untapped potential. I have no clue. Is TJ gonna choke? We don't know. Is TJ even gonna show up?
TJ, yeah, is he even going to show up? Because he's done this before and he's backed out. He's known to be quite a hypocrite. I'm pretty much made sure of that. I've defeated him at Broken Glory. I think my success and his failures have gotten into his head. And now TJ's going to try to pick at Zach Daniels for a second time. The question is TJ even going to be there? And if he is there, is his head going to be there? His body's going to be there, but is his headset going to be there? Because if TJ's not mentally there, you want to know something? This is the thing about TJ Sakar, and this is why I defeated TJ Sakar at Broken Glory. It's because his headset was there. His mindset was focused, and he was determined to defeat me, and that's why I won. It's when TJ's mindset does not have a strategy. It's when TJ goes into a match without a plan, without a format. And if TJ is going to be off his rocker and he's going to be delusional and he's going to be on the fringe, then that's going to be the worst thing for Zach Daniels.
I don't know. Anybody that steps in there with the center they're signing up for a story of a lifetime, and two, a very unpredictable style.
Yeah.
It is truly tough. I'm lost. I have no clue.
Yeah, this one's tough. This one may go to TJ if he can show up and he just shows a different side to him. That could be TJ's edge. Otherwise, Zach Daniels has the match. Oofa. All right, moving on ahead. Wrong one. All right.
Oh boy. All Gold Empire.
Yeah.
I faced Shavardicus Jackson before. He's got a lot to offer. He's still got some slight mistakes that he makes. Here's the thing. Everett Creed sometimes thinks he's so much in control to where he's not in control. Sometimes he thinks too highly of himself and the other person. And he gets so wound up in his own self-supremacy and doesn't realize that there's still another person to worry about. So Everett Creed's guide to winning this match is if he doesn't get all wound up in being Everett Creed and focuses more on Everett Creed beating Shavardicus Jackson. Shavardicus Jackson's trial of truth here is keeping up. That's it. He's keeping up.
He says that there's going to be a new Shavardicus Jackson, and there better be, because if there isn't, there's no doubt in my mind. Well, there's no doubt in my mind either way, of course. But if we are going to see the comical side of Shavardicus Jackson, he won't even last 5 minutes. That's just the way I'm going to put it. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the match card picture for the next match, but I do have one familiar picture of one Corey Graves, the APW champion, as an open challenge. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the next match that I'm going to predict, Corey Graves. Now,
All right. So
All right.
now,
What do you got?
now Corey's gonna go over. Now, uh, here's the thing. It's an open challenge. Anybody and their mother could be in attendance. I'm gonna say, in old APW fashion, Chris Payne walks out of there, and
I mean, come on. How many? If I had a nickel for every time that there was a surprise and it was Chris Payne, I'm telling you, I'd have too much money. The UW would actually have sponsors.
hit, you know, open challenge. Anybody, hell, what nobody's expecting is there's still all these other people on the card that might say, you know what, I want to go out there and beat Corey Graves. What's stopping? Zach Daniels. What's stopping Everett Creed? What's stopping Shavarticus Jackson? So you'll never know. It could be anybody. But the thing is, Corey lately, he's got on his high horse and he's gotten to feel like his shit doesn't stink. And he's forgotten the fact that he's a big man and he tries to wrestle like a millennial. And I think sometimes that drops him out of his own tier.
That could take him out of his element. If Corey Graves,
this is the reason why he's been losing lately, because he's been focused on trying to hit these high spots rather than taking people up high and dropping them down like he should be doing his size. So you'll never know.
He's getting a little too nosy with the high spots over there, I must say. But if Corey Graves can get back to that powerhouse style, Corey Graves could have a mass advantage. And I really think that could be his ace in the pocket, excuse me. Next match.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I
had these two on the CredeCast last week, or last time I had the CredeCast, and it really seemed like Rick Rios was a lot more focused than I've ever seen him before. I haven't seen him that focused since I've wrestled him at Ultimate Redemption. And if Big Time Mike is going to be facing that same Rick Rios, this is going to be one of Big Time Mike's most difficult matches, if not his most difficult match. But Rick Rios has never been in the ring with a guy this high profile of a match that's bigger than Rick Rios. He's usually fighting someone with less girth than him. So when Rios,
here's the thing: the only time I've ever seen Big Time Mike fall back on his game is when he wrestled me. And the reason being is because I think he got so wound up in being the bigger man that he forgot that Cameron Jackson's got some unpredictability to him. Now, in this case, he's not wrestling Cameron Jackson. He's wrestling the most well-known, well-versed, and to be quite honest, versatile hybrid of backyard wrestling, Rick Rios. Rick Rios can be on the ground 1 second. He can be throwing you around 1 second. He can be flying in the air 1 second. You'll never know. Big Time Mike has got to bring a little bit more than a suplex to this one.
Yep. And that's suplex and elbow, not the BTA, because the BTA is banned and the Superman punch is banned for Rick Rios.
Now, this is another thing I always wanted to ask Mike. Why not ban the Rios rotation device or the NATO? You banned the Superman punch. Here's the thing about the Superman punch. Rick Rios uses that Superman punch, but that Superman punch is not his biggest weapon. His biggest weapon is when he lifts you up Argentine style and spins you off.
Oh, I know. I felt it. It's not a fun ride, especially on the way down.
As if you're falling out of a helicopter backwards. I mean, it's. I think Mike may have took Rio slightly in that regard. But
I think Mike probably picked the Superman punch because he probably does not believe that Rick Rios can even pick him up for a NATO or a Rios rotation device.
But now here's this. Rick Rios, Big Time Mike, is your toughest, heaviest challenge to date. Yeah, I tell you what, one punch from Big Time Mike is damn near equivalent from getting hit with a bus. So all I could say is, in the KBW spirit, blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And then we have this. This one is very unique, I must say. The tagline for this is obviously the one that you came up with, is "Blood is thicker than lust." And what was in your mindset when you created that? You know, why do you think that's a perfect fitting? Which it is, but why would you say it's a perfect fitting title for this feud?
Here's the thing: everybody knows Lip's character. These two are the if there were three, there'd be a purple guy in the mix. But if we're talking about the top two most well-known characters that aren't just out there uh, in their normal persona, it's Joe Cool and it's Lips. Now, we all know Lips' game is ideal. He is not in it for the love. He's in it for the lust and to get into your mind with it. He's using every bit of his sexual nature, his freakish nature, to get into your head and pretty much to take you out of the match mentally. So all he's got to do is go in there, throw a couple comeuppance, and score it. Even if he loses, he still walks out with a mental advantage. Except for now.
Mm.
Joe has taken that lust and used it so much against Lips with the family bond of his sister, which is where the bloodline comes in. So when you put two and two together and hit four, I'm going to say blood in this case is much thicker than lust. Lips is not here to play with Joe's head. He's not here to toy with his emotions. He's not here to fill Joe up. He's here to kick Joe's ass. And Joe Cool is sitting back laughing. He's having the time of his life. And the reason being is because it's because he's Joe Cool and he can do whatever he wants. He's partial owner of VTW. I mean, he's having one hell of a ride 2016. They're one half of the VTW tag team champions. And to be quite honest, the most tenured of his kind, the doubles in backyard wrestling. And definitely in fourth wall terms being down, the most over at the moment. So
I agree.
So I mean, and I just heard through the ringer, Joe's got something special planned at the very, very beginning of WrestleCon. I don't know exactly what, but something special. So, for Christ's sake, I mean, if that don't drive it home to you, Joe Cool is not one to sleep on. But Lips this is the first time he's ever seriously determined on going out there to
Hurt someone.
to prove a point. And you know, it's all fair in love and war. There's no love, it's all war.
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely all war because Joe Cool, I believe, and my pick to win this is going to be Joe because I think he is the one guy to take it straight to Lips. No one has ever played mind games, especially like this, against the Freak Show. Lips is the master of mind games, so it's so amazing. It's so, I don't want to say amazing. It's just ironic, and it's very interesting to see how Joe has really got in Lips' head.
Now my pick for this is Lips because we've seen what Lips can do when he's not focused on the match. He's just focused on pissing the opponent off. This time, he's focused on taking the opponent out. So,
absolutely, that's a good reason to put it. That is a good reason to pick Lips. But the only reason why the biggest reason why I have Joe winning, and it's not even so much Joe winning, but Lips losing, is Lips uses the key to Lips's advantage is the sexual mind game. And now with that eliminated, could there be method to Joe Cool's madness? With Lips's mind games being completely eliminated, does Lips have more to offer to the table? How is Lips going to have, I know he's looking to kick Joe's ass, but how is he going to be able to maintain an advantage? Joe has the mental capacity right now. So I'm wondering how this is all going to culminate. This may be one of the most unpredictable matches of the night.
You'll never know.
That's the best way to put it. And I know the comments are blowing up for this one because it's just a lot of people just, 50% of VTW will conquer this disgrace of a red Coca-Cola machine looking, what the hell? Okay. Anyways, moving on. Last but not least, the main event and a match in many people's eyes that both superstars are outside their element. Both superstars are looking to make a name for themselves at each other's expense, because this is the one rung that they can possibly climb to get even higher than where they are before. And that is Jason Walker versus CJE World Heavyweight Champion, my guest here on the CredeCast, Cameron Jackson. Now, the way I feel about this match, and I'll let Cam get to how he thinks about this right after me, is Jason Walker has probably one of the most dominant winning streaks when it comes to the crossover opponents. He's beaten Drew Hood, he's beaten Daisy, he's beaten Lips, and recently he has gone on to defeat Anarchy at Heart Attack. But the one thing that Jason Walker has once before, what was in his head was the Man in Red. And that really seemed to have Jason Walker's head in a complete, I don't even know how to describe it. Let's just say it has distracted him from all APW throughout his entire career, has been distracted by the Man in Red. That was until Cameron Jackson appeared. And now all of a sudden, Jason Walker seems to be facing someone even more ominous than the Man in Red, and that is the man in the black toed splash shirt. Because you see Jason Walker walking into his apartment, and you see the calling card. You see the black toed splash shirt on his television set, on his ceiling fan. He's even wearing it on his shirt, and he's unaware of it.
Where did you see that?
It was incredible. Yeah, just wait and see.
Yeah, where the hell did you see that?
What are you talking about?
Oh boy. Anyway,
that wasn't live?
That's not public, buddy.
Oh God.
Wow.
Oh God. Charles is gonna kill me. So, I'm telling you, only on the CredeCast, folks. But I will say this though, because this I know I saw live. Cam, what the hell was that car? Because I know the car showed up and it tried to run down Jason Walker.
Here's the thing.
What?
After the old Drew Hood car scandal that I'm getting accused for, apparently, because it had New York plates. If people notice, I was not in that red car. Nobody was in that red car. I don't know what's going on with the car. I don't even know how the shirt got there. I was just eating a bag of chips. I walked up behind Jason Walker and told him I'd see him soon. You know, I was just hanging out. And this is what happens. All of my hangout time, you know, I like to vacation in Altoona from time to time. It's not much to see there, but a bunch of Sanford and Son crap. But hey, it gets you away from the paparazzi when you live in Malibu.
Very well. But despite all that and everything that we have seen, everything that we have yet to see, it's just, I have never seen Jason Walker outside of his element, almost in a similar role as one CJE would be in. But I've never seen Cameron Jackson playing mind games quite like he has against Jason Walker. I've never seen you play mind games with anybody like you have with him. And I think that is why I have you winning this match, because if you can get a mental edge over Jason Walker, you could really get the job done. And the only reason, I know a lot of people, well, what about Retro Invasion? What about Lips? Lips was so focused on lust that it got the best of him. He was having a little too much fun, and he got off of his mission. And that's where Jason Walker took advantage. The difference here is that Cameron Jackson is not looking to have fun with Jason Walker. He is looking to defeat Jason Walker, and he is going to prove that the CJE is the hottest commodity. And that is,
I don't need to prove that. That speaks for itself. Relevant since day one. But the thing
that I must ask, what is your objective here against Jason Walker?
My objective against Jason Walker is simple. Point blank, to show that in the VTW arena, back home in the UW arena, even in the APW arena, I'm not to be overlooked or taken lightly. And Jason Walker has done that on previous occasions. APW has done that on previous occasions. Hell, we'll go on record and say they damn near took every chance they could at burying me at Clash of the Yards. But yet I still, god damn it, still relevant and on top since that day and before then. So I'm just going there to show that no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, you can't bury Cameron Jackson. And if you try so hard to bury Cameron Jackson, you're going to lose the shovel. And who's going to have that shovel in his hand when it comes down to it? The man in the black toe splash shirt. Jason Walker, and I know you'll see this tomorrow because I know you're not watching right now because your internet's screwy. I'll see you.
He'll see you soon. He'll kill me because leaked information. But guys, this has been one epic proportion of the CredeCast. I know we went on a little long, but this has been an awesome show. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing tomorrow night where we witness half and half. And it's going to be featuring, obviously, Cameron Jackson and Big Time Mike, but also Zach Daniels and TJ Sakara. Guys, WrestleCon is probably going to be going down the weekend after WrestleMania. Carolina Clash was an awesome event this Sunday. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. And not to mention, this Tuesday, we are going to be seeing the Fearful Farewell Tour, which is featuring two incredible matches. We are witnessing a tag team match that is going to take place amongst.
Wait. The Fearful Farewell Tour, Cameron Jackson isn't booked on that? What the fuck? I got to talk to the UWE guys.
All right. Well, yeah, do what you can. Maybe see.
But screw it. I'm demanding I'm on that show. When we get off of here, we're gonna have a talk about that. I demand to be on that fucking show. Daisy stopped through at CJ Evolve and helped make that event special. That is the one person I have just the same amount of respect for as the CJ itself. Reasons that you all know, but I can't say. But the thing is, I gotta help out my purple man, so I'll be there. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, but I'll be there.
All right. Well, looks like we have more than two things going down. What right now is currently being advertised as a tag team match. You got the Black Bullet and Anonymous taking on Jason Atlas and Ustalo, and also Rick Rios versus the Fearful Phenom known as Daisy. And after that, we're going to be having the next series for the UWE, which is going to be filmed this weekend. So, guys, the UW is going to be coming back hot and heavy. And speaking of hot, it's going to be the Road to Hell's Vacancy, and that's going to be one of my personal favorites. It's going to be an awesome show. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the CredeCast. Cam, thank you for joining me here tonight.
Oh, no problem. And, maybe next time we can do one of these and it can be about me.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly. Discuss the life and the career of Cameron Jackson. And
oh, yeah, we'll be here for hours. We have a lot of stories to tell.
Oh, yeah, there are too many stories, man. I definitely want to be able to do it. Maybe sometime
in the future, we'll do it. We'll do it on the way to Best in the Yard.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I'm inventing
maybe even sooner. Yeah, I know there's a lot of things to come in the future that are very, very soon.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of big things coming from me that I can't explain yet, and people will see. But God bless. And like I said, just a small personal note, don't take anything that I say too personal. This is coming from the man, not the character. Reason being is I have a character to portray. So do many others in the backyard wrestling community. So for you guys that are just viewing pleasure, if we come off snappy at you or snippy at you sometimes, it's all in the name and the love of what we do. It's nothing against you guys personally. I appreciate all of you guys' support, respect, honor, viewership, subscriptions, friendship, brotherhood, etc. Thank you guys for supporting me. And till next time, Brother Cam out.
This has been the CredeCast. The supremacy is now before you.